46th point, we learnt about the way of solving linear equations in three variables using matrix inversion method and Cramer's method. Before that, in 44 and 45 points, we discussed about linear equations in two variables, two equations in two variables, and the number of solutions related to that. Okay, there we established all these rules. When the system of equations in two variables has unique solution, no solution, and infinite solution, then we have these type of conditions there for the two equations in two variables. If we extend the same idea for three equations in three variables, all it will happen. Just have a look. For suppose if we have three equations in three variables, say a1x plus b1y plus c1z is equals to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equals to d2, a3x plus b3y plus c3z is equals to d3. What it means? Three equations in three variables x, y, z. And this is the algebraic form of the equations. If we can express these three equations from algebraic form to the matrix form, this is the matrix form. And in this matrix form, we usually represent the first matrix as A and it has X, whereas this as B. And this matrix A is known as coefficient matrix because A contains all the coefficients A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Just a minute, okay? I need to write A1, B1, C1 in the row, not like this, okay? Because if you multiply these two, you must get the same equations, right? So, A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, and then A3, B3, C3. So, this is coefficient matrix. And this is variable matrix, whereas it is a constant matrix. If you multiply these two, you will get the same equations with the left side part, and you need to equalize it for the constant matrix. All this we discussed in previous points, okay? And now the system of equations we solve using matrix inversion method, as well as if we need, we solve using Cramer's method to find the number of solutions. And sometimes the number of solutions are unique, and sometimes the system has no solution, and sometimes the system has infinite solution. So we need to find out some restrictions, some conditions from matrix inversion method as well as from Cramer's method. See, these are the conditions from matrix inversion method and these are the conditions from Cramer's method. Okay, right. If the system of equations has unique solution, then determinant of A not equals to 0 and the product adjoint A into B is also not equals to 0. Okay, whereas in Cramer's method side, if you think, if the system of equations has unique solution, then all these four determinants, delta, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, everything is a non-zero value. Already we discussed at Cramer's method the way of calculating the values delta, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3. If all the four values are non-zero, then we say that the system has unique solution. Whereas coming to the case where the system has no solution, here in this case, determinant of A is equals to 0 and adjoint A into B is not equals to 0. Okay, and if you observe from the Cramer's method side, here delta is 0 and all the remaining three determinants, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 are non-zero. Right? Okay, and whereas coming to the last one, if the system has infinite solution, both determinant of A as well as adjoint A into B both are zeros, as well as here from the Cramer's side, delta, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, all the four determinants will become 0. Okay, so to solve some problems, okay, without finding the solution, we need to discuss about the number of solutions. In those cases, we need to follow these restrictions, these conditions based on inversion method as well as based on Cramer's method. Once again, if you just have a look, if the system has unique solution, then determinant of A is not equals to 0. Whereas if the system has not unique solution, it may be 0 solutions or it may be infinite solutions. In those cases, determinant of A is equals to 0. So the first check if the system has unique solution or not is just simply finding determinant of A. That A is nothing but this coefficient matrix. If you found that determinant of the coefficient matrix, if it is 0, then the system has either no solution or infinite solutions. Whereas if the determinant of A is non-zero, then for sure the system has unique solution. And See, there are three different cases actually with the system of linear equations in three variables. In the first case we have unique solution. In the last case we have infinite solutions. So these two cases are also known as consistent equations. Okay. In these two cases the equations are mentioned as consistent equations. Why? Because I already mentioned you, if the system of equations has a solution, then we call it as consistent. Here there is a solution. Here also there is a solution, and in fact infinite solutions. But whereas in the second case no solution, so and that's why we call them as inconsistent equations. Okay, you just have it. And as well as here, since the equations are inconsistent and this case is no solution case. Okay, right. Yeah, you just have a look. And whereas if the system of equations are have infinite solutions, then in this case we say that the equations are dependent equations. Already I mentioned you for the 2 by 2. Okay, if the system of equations have infinite solutions, in that case we also call these equations as dependent. Why? Because there is see here, one equation will surely depend on the other, and that's why we call them as dependent equations. In the remaining two cases we call them as independent equations. Okay, so we need to memorize all these terminologies as well as these restrictions, okay, to solve the problems. Just have a look, go for a screenshot. The system of equations has infinite solutions and we need to find lambda and mu. See, if you look at the system, x plus y plus z is equals to 6, x plus 2y plus 3z is equals to 10, and x plus 2y plus lambda z is equals to mu are the three equations. Here lambda is a missed constant, unknown, we need to find. Mu is also a missed constant, unknown value, we need to find. See, the system has infinite solutions, right? No need to solve the equations. In fact, we are not able to solve because lambda and mu are unknown, right? But here the condition given it is the system has infinite solutions. Since the system has infinite solutions, from the Cramer's method side, as we discussed in a bit, if the system of equations has infinite solutions, then delta, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 all are equals to 0. This is the restriction, this is the condition which we need to use now to find that lambda and mu, right? You see, in fact, no need to use all the 4. It is enough to use any one or two among these 4 determinants and we need to equalize it to 0, right? So first of all, I will think about the delta. So what you say about delta? Delta means the coefficient matrix itself. We need to collect all the coefficients of that xyz from the equation. So the determinant of 1, 1, 1, and then whereas coming to the y coefficients 1, 2, 2, and coming to the z coefficients 1, 3, lambda, and this delta value is 0, so this determinant is 0, right? If you observe this, in this determinant everything is known, only this lambda is unknown. So if you find this lambda, if you find the determinant and equalize it to 0, from there you will get that lambda value. And in the other case, when you think from delta 3, or you may go for with delta 2, or you may go with delta 2, delta 1 or delta 2, no problem. Just I am taking delta 3. Delta 3 is simply nothing but what? Replacing the third column of this delta with the constants. Is it right? And that's why, see, the first two columns same as it is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. And then what you say about the third column? You need to replace the third column with these constant numbers 6, 10, mu. And this is also 0. Why it is 0? Because the system has infinite solutions. Whereas if I mention, if it has unique solution, we don't have a chance to utilize this. Since the given system has infinite solutions, then here we have the chance to equalize this delta to 0 as well as delta 3 also to 0. So this determinant is 0, you will get lambda value. That determinant also 0, you will get that mu value. Okay, so we are very comfortable in finding the determinants. So find the determinants and equalize it to 0. So from there you will get lambda and mu. Okay, and if you solve lambda is equals to 3, and you need to say what about mu. Okay, just have a look. Try to solve. So at the end, after finding this, after writing this expansion form for this determinant and finding this determinant in terms of lambda, equalize it to 0, you will get lambda is equals to 3. And in the same way, find this determinant in terms of mu, equalize it to 0, you will get mu is equals to 10. So at the end, if the given system has infinite solutions, then then the lambda value is 3 as well as mu value is 10. So this is one problem related to the number of solutions. Okay. See, basically when related to the competitive exams like JEE mains, okay, for sure you will get one question related to this number of solutions. Okay, 100% you will have one question in JEE mains related to the number of solutions. Just we need to solve in such a manner. That's it. First of all, we need to find out the number of solutions, okay, as per the given problem, and we need to find out the restrictions. After that, we will just directly calculate that determinant values. There ends the problem. So, very easily we will get one question. See, actually JEE main consists of only 25 questions from mathematics. Out of those 25 questions, 100% there is a question related to the number of solutions in JEE mains. Not only in JEE mains, also in advanced, you will get some linked questions related to the number of solutions. Okay, so this is very important concept related to the matrices. Usually you will get two questions from matrices in JEE mains. Among those two questions, one question is guaranteed from the number of solutions and the other question may be from the remaining part of the matrices. That's why you need to pay much attention on this. Okay, right, just have a look. Homogeneous linear equations in three variables are simply nothing but, okay, if the constants d1, d2, d3 are zeros, then we call this system of equations as homogeneous linear equations in three variables. In these three equations, x power, y power and z power is 1, 1, 1. Since the power of the variable is 1, it maintains uniformly same, so we call them as homogeneous linear equations. And for these type of equations where the constants are zeros, it is very clear that 0, 0, 0 is a solution. Okay, if you wish, check it. Replace x with 0, y with 0, z with 0. For sure left side is 0, right side is also 0. That means this 0, 0, 0 is satisfying those three given equations. So this is always a solution for these type of equations. Since it is always a solution, we call it as a trivial solution. Okay, so trivial solution exists only for the homogeneous equations. Okay, right. And as we discussed in the previous case, if we have a system of equations, then when you observe the number of solutions, we have three possibilities: unique solution possibility, no solution possibility, infinite solution possibility. For these type of equations, clearly 0, 0, 0 is a solution, so we need to cancel out this no solution possibility. Then we left with only two possibilities: unique solution possibility or infinite solution possibility. Since we are just discussing about these two possibilities, see, if unique solution, we say it as trivial solution. If infinite solutions it has, we say them as non-trivial solutions. Then in this case, if it has unique solution, delta is not equals to 0. Delta is just nothing but the coefficient matrix. Whereas for infinite solutions case, delta is equals to 0. So the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. Then when you discuss about the number of solutions for these homogeneous equations, you just don't bother about delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3. Just think about delta. That's enough. If you find the delta, determinant of the coefficient matrix, if it is 0, it has infinite solutions. If it is not 0, it has only one solution. Okay, just have a look. I will give you a problem now. So the given system of equations has non-trivial solution. So as I mentioned you, non-trivial solution is corresponds to what? Infinite solution. Okay, the given system has infinite solution. Okay, and first of all, you just rewrite these three equations in our usual format for comfort. Send this lambda x this side. If you send lambda x this side, this is x and this is lambda x. If you send this side, it will become like 1 minus lambda x minus 2y minus 2z is equals to 0. That's the first equation. Then whereas coming with the second equation, here lambda y is there, send it this side, x plus 2 minus lambda into y plus z is equals to 0 is the second equation. And third equation, send this lambda z this side, minus x minus y minus lambda z is equals to 0. So these three are the equations, and as they mentioned, these three equations have non-trivial solution, represents infinite solution. Since they have infinite solution, as per our discussion, delta is 0. Delta means the determinant of the coefficient matrix. So the determinant contains the coefficients 1 minus lambda, minus 2, minus 2, and then 1, 2 minus lambda, 1, whereas this minus 1, and minus lambda is equals to 0, right? So we need to find out this determinant in terms of lambda, and from there we need to calculate the values of lambda. So you need to answer it by mentioning all those values of lambda in a set. Okay, you just try to find its determinant. Okay, so if you find its determinant, okay, on simplification completely, you will get that lambda minus 1 into lambda square minus 2 lambda plus 1 is equals to 0. Just on simplification I am writing. Again this is lambda minus 1 whole square. You will get that lambda minus 1 whole cube is equals to 0. See, lambda minus 1 whole cube 0 in the sense lambda minus 1 0 and lambda is equals to 1. There is only one possibility for the lambda. So at the end, set of values of lambda. The question is asking us to find set of values of lambda. So set of values of lambda is simply nothing but set containing 1. There ends the problem. Okay, just have a look.